at Vera Earl Premium Beef, they actually run 215,000 acres out in Sonoyta. So we're excited to have them this afternoon. But back to today, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves with your full titles?
Full title. Erica Button, co-owner of Button Brewhouse.
Todd Button, the other owner of Button Brewhouse.
I like how Todd grabs this. I'm Andrew Bauman. I'm the executive director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild.
Thank you for joining us today. So what's the inspiration behind starting Button Brew?
I'm going. We've been in the printing industry for 20 years, and I'm a graphic designer. And when that corporation moved to Pennsylvania, we weren't in press. And he said, I don't want to print anymore. I said, well, what the heck do you want to do? And he said, brew beer. And that didn't go down tremendously because we had never been in hospitality. We never served. We've never worked a bar. So owning a tap room was going to be something very, very different in our, the latter part of our lives, latter half of our lives, because we were getting in our 40s already. At late 30s. And business for craft beverages at Portland State University and America's Crown, and helped open Arizona Beer House and Tucson Hop Shop. So, am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
And then it was all family and friends. We don't have rich parents. So it was a lot of family and friends and credit cards and SBA loans, and starting from the bottom up. And we opened September 2017.
2017, incredible. And the location is absolutely incredible as well. Not only do you have a really amazing tap room, but you have quite the outdoor entertainment area.
Yeah, so we have a 4,000 square foot beer garden and a stage we're trying to.
And you also do pop-up events once a month for
My field. So we have a night market coming up, about a dozen artisanal vendors,
okay.
Bakers, La Bruja, Hunter's Baking, just miscellaneous, try to get a well-rounded number of vendors, so try not to duplicate them. And we had such a successful one last month, we're doing it again.
Awesome.
So it's going to be starting at 6 o'clock on Saturday. And then
this Saturday.
Yes, this Saturday.
6 p.m. Everybody needs to be there.
And then the last Sunday of the month, we do a potluck. So we get the grill out and do some food for our customers, customer appreciation potluck, and then they bring some stuff too. So we do that.
Fair enough.
We have Year 8. And then Oktoberfest, September 27th.
Awesome.
So brews coming up for your anniversary.
There we go.
So
Thank you.
The beer, actually, yeah, we do. We did a fun one with our blonde and at a higher gravity, and actually put it in a whiskey to bock barrel.
Oh wow!
So I love working with those guys. Their whiskey is great, and the barrels we use them quite often for our barrel projects. But yeah, and then we added some lemon and made like a tincture out of the peel and added all that to it too. So it's got a nice flavor to it. So that and the regular lineup, everything else that we've got, and we also have a barrel-aged Chiltepin, and that one was great because we barrel-aged it for 2 years in the Whiskey Del Bach Dorado and the classic barrels, and then blended it. And then that was back in 2020. Then we aged it 3 more years, so it's actually 5 years old. So those two will be flown along with and those two along with our regular lineup. So
Of course. Yeah. So I think you answered most of this question, but Tucson has a reputation as the UNESCO City of Gastronomy. How does local food culture influence your brewing or tap room experiences?
Oh, it goes hand in hand. Yeah. I mean, food and beer are naturally made for each other. They both of them are cooked, and say what you want about wine, but I feel beer has a superior advantage with pairing with food because it's cooked just like food is. So you get another dimension that you can do with the pairing. Not trying to knock wine. Wine does great too. Just, I'm a beer guy. So yeah.
In the brewery today, consumer habits.
Yeah, all of the above. I'd say probably consumer habits right now has shifted quite very far away from the alcohol industry overall. So I think anybody making and selling an alcoholic product right now is struggling a little bit with that, trying to adapt and figure out how to adapt to the market. But again, all those things they're gonna change. They're all gonna do this over time, and some are gonna be more challenging than others from year to year.
Are you going to try to do a zero proof to accommodate?
Maybe sodas we always have. We've done a ginger beer and a sarsaparilla, and right now we have a cream soda on tap.
Soda on tap. So definitely go check out the tap room. The tap room is located.
It's off of Ina and I-10, so about just a mile east of the freeway, right off of Camino Martin. So.
And you go right back in there.
Yep, you drive all the way to the end of Camino Martin, and it's the last industrial building on your left.
All right.
It's not a dead end, I promise.
Last big question. Where do you see Button Brew House in 5 years from now? Are you looking to do any expansions, more distribution, or are you going to stay? Or are you focused on staying hyper local?
Well, we've always wanted to stay hyper local, and that's really never going to change regardless of the size we become. But it requires a little bit of debt, and once we get past the 10-year mark, we'll be in a much better position to start moving forward. We're 2 years away from that. And at that time, we would like to expand and start growing the business a little bit more. We're looking at a possibility of a second location.
Exciting. That's really exciting. You heard it here first, folks. Shift gears a little bit, and I think everybody can answer the questions. But from your perspective, how is Arizona's craft brew industry performing right now compared to the national scene?
Yeah, it is my job to kind of keep track of both of those things, and the Google alerts constantly and all the newsletters I get. I think I get to spend a little more time worrying about what's happening nationally than someone who's working every day in their business, making beer, managing kids, and keeping customers happy. So the national scene, we still see openings, we still see closings. Arizona, we still see openings, we still see closings. I think that one part that people don't understand about what's happening as well, they get very excited about the concept of opening a brewery and then continue punching through until they're just out of steam, and it does happen. Right now, a lot of our breweries are in the 7 to 10-year-old range, and leases come up for renewal. So that's another point where you have to decide, okay, I've been doing this for 7 years. My lease is coming up. Do I want to commit to another 5 years? Do I want to commit to another 10 years, whatever those might be, with the increase in rent that everyone's seeing? So hammering down those numbers, understanding that someone who may never have been in hospitality has all of a sudden discovered, I'm not just here making my favorite beers. Now it's really more about taking care of guests in every way possible, and my goal was to make beer. So how did that get all messed up? And sometimes people just have to make decisions. Let's see, Insurgent Brewing in that north place, not Camp Verde, but it has a V in it. I met with them last October.
Okay.
And they just very calmly said, hey, look, we're on our 10 years. We're not renewing our lease in December, and we're just like October to December. We're wrapping it up. If someone wants to buy it, great. We don't really care if they buy it. We just want a vacation. We haven't been able to go on a vacation in 8 years because we've been here every minute of the whole time, other than construction the first 2 years. So we're just tired and we want to be done. And that can happen not only in Arizona, but across the country. Todd was talking about, it is that America, according to some studies, not all studies, and different people have different takes on it, like, is alcohol really at the lowest point of sales ever? Early in Arizona, look what a thriving wine industry we have.
Over 170 wineries.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. But if you look at those rocks like Napa, the cost of land, the cost of infrastructure, taxes, everything has been really hammering on them, and they're losing wineries. Does that mean that people are drinking differently? Yeah, it does. They're trying everything. They're finding other substances that have recently become able to be intoxicating in a legal way, and they're doing that. So I think it's really a thing of choice, and people want flavor. Craft beer and the farm to market ethos of the early aughts really pushed that flavor concept on people. And they're saying, look, I just want flavor. Like if I get it in wine, if I get it in RTDs, if I get it through smoking, if I get it in beer, I want flavors. And, you know, I don't have to overdo it. But when I do something, I want to do it nicely.
Absolutely.
Whew. Andrew can always talk too much.
And then that was, thank you.
Oh, I do not run a brewery.
Okay.
So
Anymore.
So from my perspective is separate from what local people on the ground see.
Well, I think you have
Your turn.
I think you have a general overview, so that's helpful for us to see because, like you said, we're in the weeds
In
all
the
the
trenches.
time. Yes.
You have to
Absolutely.
leave the door open.
Yeah.
and free.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think hearing that perspective is eye-opening. You know, it's nice to have a general idea of what's going on in the market, whereas we're
Fair enough. And then how does the guild support both large and small breweries from an advocacy, I can speak, education to festivals?
Sure.
keep going.
Well, our mission is to promote and protect Arizona beer. So we do our festivals that we invite our breweries to be part of. We have Arizona Strong Beer Fest in February, Baja Beer Fest in April, and in June we've got Real Wild and Woody in Flagstaff. And each of them has their own kind of ethos. Like Arizona Strong is just a wild, massive bunch of people. Breweries, everyone, it's a huge party. We definitely focus on Tucson for Baja Beer Fest. And we invite everyone up to Flagstaff. There are 8 brewery locations in Flagstaff, and they won't support a festival on their own, but they support the festival while we bring other Arizona breweries up there. So that's cool. And as
Yes.
it's a
I was
nice
gonna
break
say.
from the heat. It is tough, though, as economics get more difficult for breweries to get breweries to say, okay, I can send a team up to Flagstaff for 3 days. Not only do I have to pay for their transportation and their lodging and their
Food
daily
and-
stuff, they're also not in my business.
Right.
And when I'm running with what is a small crew already, to lose however many, even if it's 1 or 2 people out of my business for 3 days is a tough decision to make. So it's sometimes challenging. As far as advocacy, we have been involved in the hemp legislation in Arizona. Our goal is to make it legal for our breweries to make and sell those products. We feel that people who are already in the space and serving quality products for consumers are really borne fruit the last couple years. I'm not sure what it's going to be this year as far as legislation, but someone's going to come out with something. We'll see how it goes. We'll stick our nose in the middle of their business. That's just what we do. Last year, our big win was for our smaller breweries. In the past, there was a minimum gallonage of 5,000 gallons a year to be a microbrewery. That's about 2 kegs a week, 2 half-barrel kegs, and that is hard, especially for taproom model breweries, rural breweries, larger breweries that want to do innovation breweries, so just a small brewery in one of their locations that does, for example, I want one brewery that just does English-style ales because I love those. Well, they're not going to sell in a big way, but if I focus on that in one tap room and I can make the beer there for it, it allows more innovation in the space. So lowering it from 5,000 gallons to 1,000 gallons a year has opened up the opportunity for smaller breweries to continue doing business without being fined every year by the Department of Liquor License, and also encouraging people to open those innovation breweries. So that was last year's win. That was our big win. We've done things like in the past in Arizona, it was illegal to serve in a growler that was made in anything other than glass. So when growlers came around and they're made of aluminum and they're technically growlers,
I have 4 at home.
yeah, that would be illegal. So we had to get that law changed. And then the next year they're like, oh, you still have to put the plastic electric tape around it. So we had to get that changed too. So yeah, there's always something new and weird coming up.
Weird.
And then there's like stakeholders will have what they want to do, and that may or may not affect our businesses. So just keeping our ears open to what's happening is another big part of what we do.
Absolutely. So, what do you wish that the average Arizonan knew, or beer drinker knew about the guild and how it protects and supports the local breweries?
The average person, I think, should not think about the guild.
Okay.
Like, what we do is in support of our members primarily. We also have allied members. We do work with retailers and have them on our website and say, this is a great place to get beer. That's all great, and we like that as a resource for consumers. But really, what we do should be seamless, and our goal is to make it, shouldn't notice what we're doing. It should just happen.
Fair. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So for everybody here, how have consumer tastes shifted in the past few years? Are lagers or lighter beers making a comeback, or are IPAs still king?
Okay,
That's a you.
It's fine. You guys don't look like you want to talk. I'll talk. Statistically, yes, lagers have been moving up, and breweries have noticed that trend, and they're really increasing their output of beer-flavored beer. That's what I say. Beer-flavored beer that tastes better than what you get from larger breweries. IPA is still the king at retail. If you look at the numbers, over 50% of what you buy at a grocery store or liquor store is IPA.
Which
The IPAs, where I was sampling at the League of Cities and Towns, another one of our legislative outreaches, and a lady came up and said, I don't like IPAs. What else do you have? I said, well, I have a prickly pear wheat, and I have a Pilsner. And she said, oh, I don't know. I said, all right, try this Juicy Jack IPA. It is not bitter and very fruity. Just try it. And she's like, I'll just do the prickly pear wheat. I said, well, not until after you drink this. And she had it. She's like, wow, that is really good. I said, don't let IPA scare you away, because the word IPA is so diluted in the market right now that it can be a billion things.
That's fair. And then
We didn't talk about fruits and sours.
No.
So there's always fruits and sours
Yes.
and local ingredients and all those things that, again, it's that farm to table and craft beer pushing those flavors and that importance of things that are in your community.
Absolutely.
Now Todd will talk about his new brewing and what he does, since you do it. And I just theorize it.
What's the question?
How have consumer tastes changed?
We gave in and did seltzers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is part of it too. I mean, when we first started out in 2017, I swore I wouldn't make a hazy, and I'm doing those, and
they're good.
Then I swore I wouldn't make a seltzer, and now I'm making seltzer, and so and that's constantly changing. There's always a demand for new and exciting drinks, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, just from the outside looking in, I'm not looking at all the numbers and sales across the nation or anything like that. But from our experience in our tap room, our IPAs always sell the best. And we'll do a lot of different styles. And like Andrew was saying, you have your West Coast, which are going to be a lot more bitter. Your hazies have hardly any bitterness at all, and mostly fruit flavors and aromas and things like that. Also, they're pillowy, like the mouthfeels are different. Like the hazies are softer and pillowy kind of, and the West Coast are bitter and sharp and and often have caramel malts in them too that help balance those high bitterness flavors. And then We also brew a stout. It slows down during the summer, but it still sells all year round, so we brew it year round. I'd say the one beer that is really unique to all of that would be the Chiltepin. The Chiltepin Red that we brew with local Chiltepins and lemon and lime peel, and it's a classic red, American red, and it's got a deep color, and that one's been, I guess that's really the most unique thing. It sells like crazy no matter what, especially in cans.
It's really good. That's from personally tasting it, that it is a dialed-in flavor, and you can really taste the Chiltepin, which it's nice to be able to say that you can taste the Chiltepin, because a lot of the time when you see that, it's lost. It's lost in translation someplace. But, when we were talking with Eric from Page Spring Wineries just a couple weeks ago, he brought up, wine is such a regional thing, and it's really a flavor of that region. How do you bring that into the brewery? And I think Chiltepin is one way that you've definitely done that, because that is uniquely Tucson.
And I think another big shift that he did is using local malt. So if you can kind of tell everyone the shift on that one.
Local malt.
Yeah, so Sinagua Malting is up in Camp Verde area, and they're using local farmers to grow barley, and have built a nice big malt house up there, and about almost 70% of all our recipes now we've converted over to that. So that's malt that's being used right here in Arizona. They're a 501c3 charity program, dedicated to saving water in Arizona, which is huge, something really easy for brewers to get behind, I feel like. And their malt is absolutely outstanding quality, otherwise I wouldn't be using it. So, that's been something exciting. It's been about a little over a year now, about a year and a half since we started kind of integrating it. We did some testing first, and that all came out well, and then we started integrating it into some of the recipes, and so now we're up to, I think, almost at 70% usage, so.
Yeah, for coming down from Phoenix to join us. We're going to move into the Q&A portion, which means that we're going to jump off. But if you want to be a part of that, it is free to join us here. So come down to the Tucson Mall and check it out. And we have events all week. Like I said, tonight we're going to be with Vera Earl Premium Beef. Tomorrow morning we have the radio show. If you want to come out at 9 o'clock, just get tickets so we know you're coming. And then because we also have limited space, we also have Mouth of the South coming in to do a demo and making some amazing salsa and so much more. So go to thetastyshow.com. That's thetastyshow.com. And check out all the events, and they're all free, and it's sponsored by SAACA Catalyst Creative Collective. And thank you to our amazing sponsors and partners. And definitely check out Button Brew House. And if we can do anything to support the guild, please let us know. I am Wesley Source. Stay tasty, Tucson.